Hello, everybody. Thank you
Hello.
for coming on. Happy Thursday. As you've seen from the flyer, today we have a special guest. We have Miss Maya Moore who is joining us.
Hello.
And if you can tell, we're like kind of related or whatever. So,
Mommy.
um, so thank you guys for coming on. Today we are going to talk about a kid's view on COVID. And so, if you got some little babies around, definitely bring them, join, let them come on to the conversation, comment, ask us questions, because we definitely want this to be as interactive as possible. We're not going to hold you very long, but we definitely think this is an important conversation. And so thank you, Maya, for being willing to come on and to talk to us.
This is
So
actually like my second time doing therapy Thursdays.
yes, do you remember what your first time was? Do you remember what you talked about?
I actually do not know.
You don't remember?
No, I don't.
So I'm wondering, so for our loyal listeners, if you guys remember because Maya did come on last year, and I wonder if you can remember what she talked about. We're twinning.
We're twinning. I mean, yes, we are. She's kind of wearing like black. I'm wearing black.
I think she's talking about our face.
Oh, well, yeah. We both have lip gloss on.
I mean, like our facial features.
Oh, well, yeah.
Silly. So what Maya talked about the first time, you talked about your love languages, and you talked about how you enjoyed, I guess, to be parented. We talked about, like when you felt good about, things that I did or I said and things like that. You remember that?
I remember talking, but I don't remember being on therapy Thursdays.
Yes, it was. Well, we have talks like that all the time. Yeah. So that's the joy of having a therapist as a mama, is that we do emotional intelligence stuff probably every week.
Yeah, or every day.
Yeah. How does that make you feel? Look, that's a therapy thing. So how do you like that? Do you feel like it's helpful?
I mean, yeah, because like every day I'm like in a mood of some sort, whether it's a happy mood, a sad mood, a annoyed mood. I'm always in a mood, and so like even if you weren't like a therapist, I mean, you'd still talk about emotional. Yeah. That I can talk to you. Yeah. When I can talk to you, if I'm not comfortable talking to you right then and now, I can like wait a little bit, take some deep breaths, think about what I'm gonna say, and then come to you or other parents. Whether I'm with my dad, whether it's daddy, whether it's you. Yeah. When Caleb grows up. Yeah.
I mean, he might be a good me. I used to like to talk to my little brother too, so absolutely. What do you think, and this is kind of, a little off topic, but while we're here, what do you think is one of the most helpful things that we do that make you feel heard and, like your emotions matter?
Oh. Well, I will agree that is off topic. But I think you said what we do.
Yeah, things that we do, or things that I say that make you feel heard.
Let's see. Well, I don't know, like everything.
Yeah. So what about, do you want to tell them a little bit about when we haven't done it in a while, but like the journal?
Oh yeah, we haven't done that in a while. So my mom got me and her this mother-daughter journal. It says only between us. It's in a no rule book. And we both go through it. We would write stuff in it, our emotions, whatever's happening, whatever we want to talk about. And I wrote some stuff on the first day I got it.
Do you feel like something like that is helpful, especially as you're getting older and you've got a lot more emotions than you did at 5 and 6? Yeah. So do you feel like that's helpful?
At 5 and 6, like I don't really know to like come to mama, tell you whatever. But I mean, like I know stuff like that, but I mean, like it's not very strong of a thought. Okay. But now that I'm like getting older, it's like it's a more strong thought. it comes to my mind more, I guess.
Okay.
And I think that the journal is like, if I don't feel comfortable like talking, I can just like write it down.
Yeah.
Tell you if I want to talk. And yeah, I think it's a great way to like communicate.
Yeah, I think so too, because I know you probably don't know, but being a parent can be scary. So sometimes we don't know the things to talk about and all of that. And so having kind of an avenue to start these conversations is really helpful, because sometimes if I just come and sit to you and say, hey, Maya, what's on your mind? You might be like, I don't know. But if I give you time to think about it and all that, then that can be really helpful. TT Leslie asked a good question. Do you feel like you can say whatever you want in there without getting in trouble?
Okay, so that's actually something I've been thinking about for a long time.
Okay, that's news to me. All right.
So like sometimes I feel like what I'm gonna say is gonna get me in trouble. Like I feel like it's just gonna get me in trouble, or you're going to be mad, stuff like that.
Really? And see, I'm glad you said that. So thanks, Leslie, for asking that question. Remember when we first set it up, I said, that was when we went over the rules. It was kind of like you can say whatever without fear of getting in trouble. I mean, you're supposed to feel like that anyway, that you can come to me without getting in trouble. But I think that that's a good thing for us to maybe just keep reviewing, is that and especially in that journal, that you can say whatever you want without worrying about getting in trouble. I just want to hear what's on your mind and your heart. Okay? That works. Good questions. Thank you guys for participating. Yes, everybody's saying we are twinning. Okay, so let's talk about. So tell everybody. Will it? So that's a good. So no, it will not get you in trouble. So if I see something in there, even if you're afraid, and we can come up with a code or something. You can put a star by something that you're worried about, that I'll get mad about, or something like that. But just know that I'll come and say, no, let's just have a conversation about it. Okay.
Safe place.
Yes, a safe place. You have to create those safe places, right? And really, what do I tell you? There's very few things that Maya will get in trouble about, or that I feel I'll get mad about. For me, I think maybe especially because I just want to know what's going on. What are the things that you get in trouble about?
Lying, not telling you about anything. If I like keep something for so long without telling you.
Yeah, that's it. So I tell you, like, the sooner you talk about it and you bring it to me, then hey, that's the only time I get in trouble, is when I have to like pull teeth, because that can be frustrating.
Yeah, I have something to say about TT Leslie's comment.
What?
So like safe place, like secret place. Secret place is a safe place.
Yeah. Well, in secret place, that's your time with God, right? So that's where you really can say whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
She's talking about.
That's a really safe
place. Secret place ministries that I'm a part of, but it's based off of Matthew 6:6 that talks about when you go into the secret place, and you do things about when you bring things to your Father, and everything that is done in the secret place, and then your Father rewards openly for that. And so, but that is something, that's important. And so, like she says, boom. Tell mommy everything. Which I say that probably at least once a week, right?
Yeah. You say that like every day.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't you tell everybody what grade you're going to, how old you are.
How about how it was like in like 3rd grade?
Well, yeah, that too, but I mean, kind of bring into our topic today. So talking about COVID. So you were actually on, you were actually in 3rd grade when all of this started happening. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what that transition was like of when COVID started, because then you started going to e-learning first and all that. So
I was still in 3rd grade.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that.
So when I was in 3rd grade, when we started e-learning, to me, I was kind of sad, kind of worried. I just wasn't ready to be away from all my friends, all my teachers. It just was scary.
Yeah.
But then I started getting used to e-learning, and it started getting familiar.
What did you know about COVID when it first started? You know, because I know it was so, you know, what did you think about it? What was your understanding of it?
So when it first started, my understanding of it was that like stay away, stay away from other people, even though that meant I couldn't be with my friends. And like during 3rd grade, I missed all of the Zoom calls.
Yeah.
I missed all of them. One day I refreshed and the Zoom call was already over.
Oh man. And I bet that was hard because that was really the only time to really see them and talk to them.
And they give us multiple Zoom calls, but I missed every single one of them.
Man.
And like I was just so mad. I was just like, no.
Have you found other ways to connect with your friends since all of this has started?
Well, Genevieve, my dad has Genevieve's phone number. She lives right down the block, so I can take my mask, go see her from the front door, or if I go into the house, have some gloves, and go into the living room, or
so you had like a social distance play date.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't really had a play date. Maybe like if I went into her room, I'd mainly just stay in the doorway kind of thing.
Okay, so it was more like a visit, just a visit. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I played, but I like wore gloves touching the Barbies.
Yeah.
Because I mean, people have been touching Barbies. Abigail had been over.
Okay.
Just then, and Abigail was like, she lived in Portage.
Okay.
So
they're not wanting to have too many people touching the same thing. I understand that.
And my Genevieve and Abigail, they were both like really close to each other, so we all could just play, have fun, visit. Yeah.
So do your friends do the same thing? Do they have masks and gloves on too?
Well, that's the thing. Some of them just really don't care. Some of them don't have any masks, don't have any gloves. And on the last day of school, I said, or before we did e-learning, because they said we were going to have to do e-learning. But that was before COVID had happened. That was before we knew that we had to stay with e-learning. Right. So on the last day before e-learning, I asked one of my friends, if something happened, what would you do? And I was like what? And they're like, what happened? And I was like, I don't know, just something random. And they were like, well, I wouldn't know. And when COVID happened, I asked them again, and they were like, isn't this the same question you asked me?
Yeah. So what were you looking for them to say? Like how they would be careful?
Well, during the COVID time, yes, how to be, if they're going to be careful, if they were going to be distanced, but they were distanced and they did have a mask because I mean it's the law,
right?
But it wasn't covering their mouth.
So they would like take it down sometimes. Yeah. Is it hard as a kid, especially because I mean that's something that we did in the beginning, even when you played with your cousin. You know, we would have to wear masks, or even when we go outside and we're around other people, keeping their mask and everything. Is it hard for you as a kid wearing a mask and being out in public?
I would say yes, because I get hot really fast. Especially when it's hot, like in Georgia. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
When we went to Georgia, I was so hot.
Yeah. But do you understand the reasoning like behind wearing the mask and all that?
Like it's to keep us safe. We even if we get hot, it's for our safety. To me, I think I care about what people think, but at the same time I really don't care like if it's something they want, because I mean I'm just trying to get like we are trying to get what we need.
Yeah.
And the refrigerators are packed. Some I cannot talk right now.
It's okay. Take a deep breath and then recenter your thoughts. If you need a drink of water, go ahead and take a drink of water. I know it's hard sometimes being on camera, right?
And I have a lot to say, but I mean,
yeah. So just take it one piece at a time. So it's hard. You understand why you need to wear the mask, right? Because it helps to protect yourself and others. Because even if you don't get sick, if you could be carrying yourself, you don't want to get anybody else sick, right? So you don't want to get sick. You don't want to get anybody else sick. What were you saying about the refrigerator? Is that like as far as like people preparing and all of that? And
with the refrigerator, I was saying like as well as some people have a lot of stuff in their refrigerator, freezers packed, refrigerators packed, mini refrigerators packed, mini.
We don't
freezers.
have all that over here though.
No, we don't.
But you probably talk because I just bought a deep freezer, so I'm waiting for it to get delivered. And so, even just understanding, like when I first started getting groceries delivered, like, did you understand like why all that was happening?
Yes, because like as well as much as we might want to go.
TT Leslie said you're doing very well. Do you know what articulate means?
Accurate.
It's articulate. It means you're very well spoken.
Thank you. I'm trying the best I can. You're like the most one commenting, TT Leslie.
But so about the grocery deliveries and everything.
Because as much as we might need things that we might as much as the urge to go into the grocery store, we just cannot. We have to learn self-control.
That's good. So what do you think about the people who are going out to the stores and going to restaurants and, being out, being in groups and doing a lot of stuff? What do you think about those things?
Well, see what happened. My Nana's family members, most of them actually got COVID.
Wow, that's scary.
And now she's really sad, and I'm like, yeah, I know, because most of your family members, some of her sisters got it.
I bet that was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like, knowing that it's important to see family, right? Because we'll miss family, but, it's like you have to do it safe, right? With social distancing, wearing masks.
And they're in a group gathering.
Yeah, so just knowing until things are safe, but it definitely can be hard. What do you think has been the hardest part of, sheltering in place and quarantine and all of that? What's been the hardest part for you?
The hardest part? Oh, I think the hardest part is for any kid, it would just be the self-control that we need right now.
So like what type of things do you have to have self-control in that you wouldn't normally?
Like keeping away from other people, because normally I'm like a huggy type of person,
right?
And I like to mental love, hug people. So I think for me, the stuff and sometimes I cannot just stand still.
Yeah.
So, and especially nowadays, I just need to stay still, just stay away from other people.
Yeah.
I think for some kids, it's like just self-control. Like I think every kid just needs self-control.
Yeah. So how do you, normally you said you're like a huggy person, and so like one of your love languages, it sounds like it's touch. So how do you make sure that you get that, since you can't, see your aunts and uncles and your friends and hug them and stuff? How do you make sure that you're getting enough hugs?
Well, nowadays, I'm still a big fan of hugs, but I don't really need them as much. I still hug you a lot.
You do, yeah, which is good.
But even though I can't hug other people, I still have to social distance. I just don't. Yeah. I don't need hugs as much.
Yeah. Do you feel like you rely on like your parents and your the family that you do see for hugs more often?
For touch, yeah, I rely on my parents.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Members.
Good. Okay. So Leslie has another question. Did you find some cute masks to match your clothes?
A lighter question.
Yeah.
Because these questions have been deep.
I know they have been.
But I mean,
thank you, Leslie, for lightening the mood a little.
But I mean, it's got a kid's view on COVID.
Yeah,
so I mean,
COVID deep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tell us about your mask because you have 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of my masks at my dad's house, it's very heavy. It only like it just doesn't really match anything because at my dad's house I have like lighter clothes. I don't really have dark clothes, light clothes, medium clothes.
Okay. What about your other mask?
The pink mask, I think it just matches everything.
You wear a lot of pink though. Yeah.
Yeah. I wear a lot of pinks and purples.
Yeah.
And my ladybug mask, I think I normally just wear it around Nana because she calls me her ladybug. So I normally just wear it around her, or if it's the mask in reach, and of course inverted.
Yeah.
And it matches with everything as well.
Sure.
But I would rather it to be like with a green or whatever. And my frozen mask, well, I mean that goes with everything. It's a lot of different colors. So
it's not time to let it go yet. Yeah, you see what I did there? See, this is why you have kids, because they laugh at your corny jokes.
And Daddy does too.
Yeah, true. So why you get married? Why you have kids? Because they laugh at your corny jokes.
I read your vows. It said you will laugh at my corny jokes.
There we go. So Leslie asked you. So since you don't need the hugs as much, how do you feel loved by the people you would normally hug?
Ooh. I think how would I feel loved by the people I normally hug?
Yeah, what are things that they do to make you feel loved since they can't hug you?
Well, comfort talks. Like if I'm in some type of mood and I'm just like, oh, I can't hug you, it's really annoying, but we need to social distance. I know we need to social distance for our safety, but I mean, it can also be very annoying.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
so them talking to you makes you feel loved?
A little comfort talk or sit down. If I'm like at their house, we could like sit down, talk a little chat, talk about what's been happening and how we are feeling. How have we been doing, etc.
Okay, so like quality time.
Yeah.
Nice. Even sometimes, just being on the phone, being able to like duo them or talk on the phone, that seems like that helps too, keeps you feeling connected.
Yeah, that's why like nowadays I'm always just like duoing people because I'm like, I just want to connect with other people to see how they're doing.
Yeah.
They're all right. My Nana actually went to Arizona and I haven't been able to reach her. So I think she's with my uncle right now.
Ah, okay.
So, I mean, that should be fun for her.
Yeah.
She needs to send me a picture.
Yeah. That's a good way to stay in contact too. Yeah. Titi Leslie says she's quality time too. She likes spending time together. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about how are you feeling? Because, it's almost August and school is supposed to be starting back and all that.
Ew,
so
I've got an answer for that.
Yeah.
Already.
How are you feeling about potentially starting school again and like what's that going to look like? Yeah. How are you feeling about it?
Well, first with the first letter, before they changed it, I was just like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yep. And she's referencing because the first letter that her school sent out was they weren't going to mandate masks. And nobody was a fan of that. And so they are revisiting what that plan is going to look like. So to you, what do you think the best plan would be for schools to reopen? Do you think it's e-learning? Do you think it's being in person? What do you feel like is the best idea?
I think the best idea first would be e-learning.
Mm-hmm.
I think we would do e-learning, and then a couple days. I think it should be like this. Like it could be either one really, but I would rather do e-learning because one of my friends are really huggy and touchy.
Mm-hmm.
They always have to feel something.
Yeah.
So I don't think they can really social distance well.
Got you. What would be some ways you can put boundaries up so if you do go back in person, and that friend is very kind of like touchy-feely, how can you make sure they respect your boundaries? So if they come up and they're just like, "Hey girl," like what do you do?
First I would start off with a nice deep breath, like, please do not touch me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then if they do it again, I'll just be like, I said, please do not touch me. They do it again. I'm just like, I'm gonna tell the teacher. I mean, we're supposed to be social distancing. Mm-hmm. This is a thing for safety. Mm-hmm. And I think I'd tell the teacher on the second time though. Mm-hmm. I mean, even though at my school they tell us to work it out as students, mm-hmm. I think if it's something like that for safety, that we just tell the teacher right away.
I think that's a smart idea, and I think that's a really good. I love that logical thinking that you use, because you said in normal times, it would be that I could give a few times, but in times where it's like increased safety measures, different times call for different measures, right? So I love that thinking. Let's say good job with the deep breath. Yeah, sometimes you can't just go and respond right away, right? You don't want to react, you want to respond. So you got to take that deep breath, center yourself. Good job. Do you want to go back to school and actually like be in the school?
See, that I do want to, but like I said, if for safety reasons, the safety side of me is like, I don't want to, but I'm just like, I mean, I haven't seen my friends in a while, mm-hmm. and I think it's about time we at least got to see each other. Mm-hmm. But safety reasons, I think we should just stick with Zooms and e-learning.
Yeah.
But also, I want to go back to school because I felt like the e-learning was a bit hard. And I want to see Miss Gold, or not Miss Gold, our 4th grade teacher.
Yeah.
Actually, like, tell us what to do.
Yeah.
And because sometimes, I don't know what it is, but for me, it's a lot easier when the teacher is actually up there with you, mm-hmm. helping you work out the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be, because you have to be very independent to do e-learning, right? And to like kind of figure things out.
And I'm an independent child. Independent.
Yo, this is my kid.
I'm an independent child, mm-hmm. but I think when it comes to learning, I think I need someone to be there to help me work out the problems. Mm-hmm. Like with e-learning, you would tell me to work out the problems, and then if I needed help, come to you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. So do you have any other thoughts just about COVID, about, looking at, things are probably going to be this way for, another couple of months, probably at least to the end of the year, where we're going to have to be wearing masks and not really being around people and all that. So how are you thinking even about like the holiday season coming up, right? So Thanksgiving and Christmas, what are you thinking about that?
For Christmas, I don't think Santa will be coming.
No? I'm sure Santa can put some mask and some gloves on. Yeah. But how are you feeling about, I guess, like, not doing the regular family gatherings? Because normally we gather in really big groups for holidays. So what do you think about that?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Or even like Christmas and Christmas Eve, we're all in one place. So like, what are you thinking about that?
I think I'm going to be a little sad, mm-hmm. because we can't like gather, see each other. But I mean, like, we can still like have a Zoom party.
Yeah, we did that for Easter, I think it was.
And my birthday.
Yeah, and your birthday. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
Yeah. So what is some encouragement that you could give to parents and kids just to kind of stay sane during these, times, not to get bored? Because I mean, there's a lot of long days, right? Especially in the summer when you're not in school. So how do you keep from getting too bored or, not feeling lonely?
Well, ever since my Georgia quarantine was over, I was just so excited to see my cousin again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, in the morning, I was like, Mom, when's she coming? When's she coming? When's she coming?
Yeah.
Mom.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's talking about, well, so even just right, but we took a trip, and we did the 2-week quarantine coming back because even though we social distance, we just wanted to make sure we were safe, and so we didn't see anybody in our building, just to keep them safe as well. But just in general, so like, even when you are able to see your cousin, I mean, I'm sure you still have days when you get bored and everything. So how do you keep in good spirits?
Well, I do like to read when it's books I like. Mm-hmm. I just got 2 new series, a unicorn series, mm-hmm. and a
Judy Moody
series. Mm-hmm. And we're doing a summer reading contest.
And she's killing it right now. I'm trying to catch up.
I think I'm gonna win.
Yeah, how many books have you read so far? Yeah, I killed it last year. She's read 8 books. She had like 3-day punishment though, so she was able to really catch up. I'm on book number 3 though. I'm catching up.
No,
I'm catching up. I am.
Your books are so long.
Right, so I should get more credit because my books take like 18 hours to listen to.
But those unicorn books have super long chapters.
Whoa, so do mine. So we're gonna see. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything else that you want to share? Or, for those watching, do you have any final questions for us or for Maya specifically?
I have something I would like to say.
What would you
about
like to say?
Encouragement.
Okay, yeah.
So for kids, I think it would just be like, if kids have some toys, play with their toys. But you can talk to your parents. Mm-hmm. About if you have questions. They're not going to get mad at you if you have questions about what's going on. This is a very serious thing going on. Yeah. So, they wouldn't get mad if you have a question about COVID.
Yeah.
And for adults, you guys have a lot to do. You have grocery shopping, you have washing, you have taken care of the kids, mm-hmm. you have taken care of your husband. Yeah. You just got, your schedule is packed. You've got a lot of stuff on your plate. So I just say slow it down, keep track, take a moment, breathe, mm-hmm. and then maybe just listen to a book or some relaxing music.
Yeah.
And then
that's good. That's like a mindfulness tip that you're giving there. I like it.
Just breathe, cuz you've got a lot of stuff you got to do. Mm-hmm. Moms and dads, you've got a lot to do. Mm-hmm. So you've got a lot on your plate. So just take a minute, breathe, and then stop what you're doing. And then once you feel comfortable and relaxed and peaceful, mm-hmm. then you can continue what you're doing.
Nice. I'm more relaxed just from you saying all that. I love it. Yeah, you're going to have to do that. You catch me in the middle of my day and be like, Mom, did you breathe? Yes, I love it. Well, thank you guys for joining in. This has been so fun. Thank you, Maya, for coming on.
You're always sad that it's already ending.
Yeah, I know. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Not really.
No?
If there were any more questions, I would be willing to answer.
Well, we'll have to think about some other topics to talk about, and then we'll get you to come back. Okay? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll think about some other topics, and yeah.
Hi.
Say hey, Amaya. So again, thank you guys for joining in. Really enjoyed this. and I will see you next week. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. My encouragement to the parents and the kids is, again, like Maya was saying, be intentional with spending some time together, slowing down together. It's very easy, right, for us to get into the rat race and doing all these things. But I know one reflection that I've had about just all of this time has been, I would constantly say I couldn't wait till I had time to be at home or be around the kids, or just have the time to slow down. So instead of me trying to fill all that time that I do have with activities, sometimes just chilling and relaxing, or taking a nap. Like today I took a nap and it was so needed. I never take enough naps. So just being able to say, hey, my body needs rest, so let me give it what it needs. So definitely I think there's a lot of wisdom in that. Yeah.
So back to the grocery shopping topic. They gave my mom 2 individual apples instead of 2 pounds.
Right. So the wisdom from that is, if you use Instacart like we do, because again, we're trying to social distance, and so we're ordering groceries, you have to be very specific, because even though I told them I wanted 2 pounds of apples, they asked if I wanted just 2 apples or 2 pounds, and I said 2 pounds. They still only gave me 2 apples, and I was pretty upset because I really wanted to try those apples, but they did refund me, so that was good. So yeah.
But I do have something else.
All right.
Other than that.
What's up?
Some people may not have enough in their grocery stores.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in their refrigerators.
Yeah.
And the grocery stores are like running out. They have to restock everything.
Mm-hmm.
Even Amazon, people are constantly using Amazon. You're one of those users.
I am. Yeah.
And I think that even though we are trying to keep all of our stuff, I think if we are generous enough, that we would give at least a little of some of our stuff to people who don't have enough.
Yeah, I love that. I'm so glad you said that, because it reminds me. So there's actually, for those who need resources, there is a food pantry food giveaway rather that is happening this weekend. So it is at Faith Movers Church, which is in University Park. It's 425 West Exchange Street in University Park. It's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. You just drive through, they put the things in your trunk, and then you keep going. So if you know anybody who needs resources, and they give great stuff, they give like chicken breast and yogurt and milk and things like that. So if you know somebody that has resources, like Maya said, or, if you don't need it for your own household, you definitely, maybe could pick it up for somebody, that maybe can't get out and go grocery shopping, or can't afford to have groceries delivered to whatever. So definitely I will share that information after this live stream is over. But thank you so much for making that comment, Maya, because that's so true. We want to be generous with our resources as well, because we know that some people, this has been a real struggle for them. They still have had, especially essential workers, have still been paying for daycare and all of these things, and so resources are still pretty tight for a lot of people. And so we want to make sure that we are being generous where we can. So I will post that information about the pantry, the food pop-up, and we'll definitely do that.
And for some homeless people, I mean, they don't have anything.
Yeah.
They don't have a shelter.
Yeah.
They're just out in the streets, lying there, holding up signs for help.
Yeah. So,
and like during all this COVID, I think that's just really unfair for them. Because they're just sitting on the streets where everybody's just passing by.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just really unfair. Because, I mean, people can catch COVID like that. They can catch colds. They can catch flu. They can catch COVID. I mean, we're going to get a heat wave. And sometimes they have blankets. So, and it's really windy. So maybe some of their stuff that they earned would fly away. And I just think that if we're not generous, that it's just so unfair and cruel for them.
Yeah.
And
what are some ways we can help them? So, I mean, I know we're not being around people, but what are ways that we can help that homeless population? Because it sounds like you kind of have a heart for people, which is amazing.
I think how we can help them is like if we see some people holding up signs for help, like maybe we can like drop some money in the basket. give them some supplies to keep themselves safe.
Yeah. So maybe like some mask or some gloves or something. That would be good. Maybe that's a project we could look into of trying to figure out where to donate some supplies. Or even just being intentional with maybe I know I don't always carry cash, but making sure I always have a few dollars, around.
Or at least a couple quarters.
Yeah, for sure.
Remember that time we went to the baseball game?
Mm-hmm.
Or something? When we were heading off past the porta potty, there was actually someone right under that tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was a hot day.
And I didn't think you saw them. I was just like looking like, Mom, did you see them?
Yeah, buying an additional meal. That's a good one, Leslie. So if you buy lunch out, buying an additional meal so that you're able to give it to someone and maybe having it already, having a bag in your car. Because again, we want to be safe during COVID. So maybe having a bag in your car to have it wrapped up so that way you don't have to touch anything or whatever. You can let them know that it was, safe. So
and
those are good ideas.
Homeless you can just drop it off by where they are, and they can just pick it up and eat it. Like give them a couple napkins and some forks.
Yeah.
And then they can just eat it and
yeah. I love it. I love it. That's a very, I like said that it sounds like you have a heart for mercy in people. So I love it. It's good to think of other people than yourself, right? And to take care of others.
Even though like I think some of us we are thinking more of ourselves than other people during this time. We are spoiling ourselves, but not other people.
Yeah.
And I just think that maybe we should like I said, we should just stop, we can just think about what we're doing. And if we're like passing by someone, we can just give them some of our supplies that we had just bought from the store.
What's one way you can, bless someone even this week? So what's something that instead of doing for yourself, you could do for somebody else?
Well, you can
or something you personally. Yeah, bring it home. Something you personally. Well, something you could do for someone else and not for yourself.
I can. That just took me to a pause. Gotta think about that one. Let's see. I can, because I know some of the toys I have, I don't really play with. I have some stuffed animals up in the closet. Yeah, like TT Leslie said, give someone a book you don't use anymore.
Yeah.
Or just give someone something you don't use. And instead of keeping it for yourself and letting it get all moldy, all dusty, getting it all moldy and all dusty,
giving it to someone else. Yeah, that's good. All right. Give people. Oh, that's a good one. Amaya said giving people first aid. So giving like first aid kits and stuff to like the homeless population. So that's good. All right. Well, if that is all, thank you. You made some really great points. Again, thank you for coming on here and talking. We'll have to think about like some future topics that you might want to weigh in on.
One of our topics can be like how. One of our topics can just be like on how we can help people.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have to think. You have to make a list and think of some ideas we can present to people. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining in. Thank you for the participation. I hope that this was helpful and, just have these conversations because as we see, kids are a wealth of knowledge. They are amazing little people who have very complex emotions and feelings and thoughts. And so I think when we just take the time to pause and to listen to them and to have these conversations, it makes a world of a difference. You know I learn something from our conversations all the time, and it really it truly blesses me just to hear what's on her heart.
Today.
I did. So I love it. So you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Wear your mask.
Yes, definitely. Have some hand sanitizer. Carryable. Have some that you can reach.
Yep. All right. Bye.
Bye.